Yes, there have been a number of casualties being brought into the hospital all day today and through the early hours this morning. There's been quite a lot of activity, fighting in and around, well, not in the hospital, but on the periphery of the hospital. Because of our location, we're in a very specifically poor geographical location in relation to the three key areas that they appear to be fighting over. We are very close to Green Square. We are very close to Bab al-Aziza, which is where Colonel Gaddafi has his compound, and we're not too far away from a number of the Rixos Hotel, which is where the foreign journalists and a number of the key Gaddafi personnel have been staying up until now. So within the past hour or so, although we've been having a number of shellings, attacks all day, in fact even one mortar shell hit one of the hospital perimeter walls earlier on, there is now very much more increased machine gun fire and mortar shelling outside the hospital. The doctors are absolutely exhausted. They've been working non-stop for the past 3 days or so in the hospital itself. Many of the staff haven't been able to get to the hospital, so those that are here are absolutely exhausted. And inside the hospital, they're overwhelmed with casualties, with some of the patients or the families of the patients talking about no food, no drugs, no medicines, and even in some cases, some of the patients talking about lack of water. It is in an absolutely disgusting state, with piles of rubbish everywhere, blood-soaked bandages all over the place. In one case, we even saw a bag full of urine just tossed to one side as they're desperately trying to cope with the casualties. So a pretty awful situation for all those who are working in the hospital, but also those who are trying to get treatment here.
By the sounds of it, it'd be fair to say that there is still very intense fighting going on. There are still a large number of casualties, and there is considerable uncertainty in Tripoli tonight.
I think there's a lot of uncertainty, particularly around this area. I know, having spoken to people who are in other parts of the town, such as the West, they have been celebrating for most of the day and able to go out on the streets. Around this particular area, the streets have been largely deserted, with people trying to dodge the almost consistent, repetitive gunfire. A number of cars being shot at. I know that the rebels have set up checkpoints around many of the roads around the city, trying to keep control of the area, but clearly there has been a lot of struggle over trying to get that control, and they have been mounting attacks on these areas because the rebels clearly want to get control of Gaddafi's compound, and there appears to be a group of Gaddafi forces who are trying to protect whatever is inside the compound.